Sentence in one of our books that says 40 tarikats are as rivers, but the Nakşibendi Tarikat is as an ocean that they're running into. And he's asking for you to explain more fully this meaning.
And then another thing he was asking also. That is all?
It's basically all, Effendi, but the impression in that particular book was that the Sheikh, the Murshid, should encourage the Murid to give up bayat to them and come to the Nakşibendi Tarikatı instead. Now, I can't quote which book of yours, Effendi, but I had it in my hand at one point. I'm sure you will remember.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. By the name of Allah, Almighty, All Merciful, Most Beneficent and Most Beneficent. There are 41 tarikats. 40 tarikats belongs to Sayyidina al-Imam Hazreti Ali Karamallahu wajhahu alayhi salam. One tariqat belongs to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. 40 tariqats, they are reaching to Sayyidina Ali alayhi salam radiyallahu anhu karamallahu wajhahu. Only Nakşibendi Tarikat reaching to Siddiq, and all tarikats reaching their final position or last station for them, reaching to Maqam Sayyidina Jibril Sidratul Muntaha, the last point of the knowledge of mankind, reaching to Archangel Gabriel's station. And the first station of Nakşibendi order begins after Maqam Archangel Gabriel alayhi salam, and 40 tarikats, they are for common people, preparing them. And one Nakşibendi order preparing the distinguished members of Ummah, and whole tarikats, when they are reaching to their final or last station, they are coming to the border of Nakşibendi. Then they are reaching, when they are reaching to that point, they are coming to Nakşibendi. As whole tarikats and their stations in known stations up to the station of Archangel Gabriel, that the knowledge of mankind reaching that point, and after it is divinely stations. when they are reaching to that point, they are beginning to take bi'at for coming to Nakşibendi. When they are finishing, they are traveling to that point, then they are in need to take bi'at from Nakşibendi to go forward. And this, in the side of further stations, they are like rivers, and then after the station of Archangel Gabriel, it is an ocean. Therefore we are saying every tariqat like a private river or way reaching to last point of their stations, and then if they are asking more, they may follow Nakşibendi also. Therefore so many tariqats, they have Jarrahi or Qadiri or Rifai or any other tariqats. Same time they are Nakşibendi also. They may take Nakşibendi bi'at also, and they may follow. They may reach after Maqam, the last station of all tariqats. And 40 tariqats, they are zikr, they are using La ilaha illallah. And 40 tariqats helping to beginners or their followers to take away their nafis. Nafis saying La ilaha illa ana, saying to people La ilaha illa ana. Therefore tariqats, they are fighting to nafis to make it to say La ilaha illallah. When nafis accepting to say La ilaha illallah, and nafis going away, finishing, then no need to say La ilaha illallah. When nafis accepting and surrendering and no more struggling or fighting, then he should say illallah, illallah, illallah. Then saying Allah, Allah, Allah. Therefore Nakşibendi zikr Allah, Allah, Allah. Whole tariqats La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah to take away nafis. When nafis finishing, then beginning whole being of that person to say Allah, 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 and his ego also going to say Allah, Allah, Allah. Therefore 40 tariqats preparing whole murids to make their egos away and to reach to maqam Fana'un fillah, Fana'un fil habib, Fana'un fil mashayikhin. that going to be real surrender for murid when nafs accepting and declaring that la mawjuda illallah and saying Allah, Allah, that is the highest point of worshipping or the highest position of servanthood, to say Allah, Allah, Allah. Therefore 40 tariqas preparing whole followers to that station, the last position of mankind, to declare and to accept their Lord Almighty Allah in existence only. No one's existence, only the Lord's existence, the existence of Allah Almighty. Therefore they are saying Allah, Allah, Allah. Therefore we are saying in our associations, when it is necessary to be said, we are saying whole tariqas and their positions in such a way. And also now in our days, whole tariqats, they finished. No more authorized sheikhs for any tariqat except Nakşibendi. You can't find authorized and powerful sheikh for any tariqat except Nakşibendi Tarikat now in our days. Look, Jarrahi Tarikat now, after Muzaffer Effendi passed away, and no one may be able to collect murids, and there are some groups here, some groups here, some groups there, and every tariqat, when sheikh passing away, who is going to be successor for them, not on same power, coming less, coming less, coming less. Only Nakşibendi order keeping the power, because when the last day is coming, going to be whole religions, one religion, whole mazhabs, one mazhab, whole tariqats, one tariqat, whole books, one book. Therefore, now whole tariqat's power coming to be collected and following Nakşibendi. Therefore, you can find sheikh or Nakşibendi Tarikat, authorized ones, but it is difficult to find through other tarikats authorized sheikhs. And everyone now may look and may try to find which is suitable for themselves. It is an order for those whom they are seeking true way and reality, to find out a real successor or any tariqat and to follow him, because without authorized successor it is wasting time. If a sheikh going to be by himself sheikh, useless. If a successor going by himself successor, it is nonsense. But you must ask authorized successors and to follow. If you are finding through any tariqat a authorized successor, Khalifa, you may follow, and you are happy, you may follow. Doesn't matter. It is something not for with advertising. It is something belonging to spiritual world. It is not through our hands to make someone sheikh or to refuse him. It is a heavenly function that appointed through Prophet, from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to anyone that he may be successor and authorized also. If you are finding such a person, you may follow. If you are happy by following and it is all right. We are not saying, we are not objecting anyone if they are following a person and they are happy. No. But we are only fearing from Prophet's warning, because he said, "Man ghashana falaysa minna." Because he said, if anyone cheating ourselves, he is not from our nation. And it is difficult, particularly for tariqats, if not authorized person, to say, I am authorized. It is dangerous for him and for his followers. Therefore a sheikh can't be able to show someone as his successor without Prophet's permission. Prophet must order to him to show someone from his murids as his successor. If Prophet saying, then whole murids must renew their bi'ats with that one. I don't know if Muzaffar Effendi showing someone and giving authority to him to be. Who is that one?
Muzaffar Effendi appointed twice, that I know, twice in his life. He said, when I am not here anymore, Muzaffar Effendi will be my successor.
And after my death?
After my death, yes.
He should be.
It will be Muzaffar Effendi who will be my successor.
But he is not on his Muzaffar Effendi, never same as Muzaffar Effendi. Too much down.
I haven't got the level to judge. I have not the level to
We
judge.
have that judge. We have that judge. In America they are keeping Muzaffar Effendi?
No, he went to America after Ramadan to open a new dergah in New York.
Oh, Dargah, what happened?
The dergah went on because there was somebody in charge, a Khalifa, to do the zikr. And Muzaffar Effendi came back after 20 days.
No, the first Dargah They are accepting Safar Effendi as Khalifa?
Yes, they do, and it's growing every week. It's growing, and then more and more people come after Muzaffar Effendi passed away.
If they are happy, may follow.
They have groups now in South America and in Spain and in Australia.
Safar Effendi last year was in our Ayashli place. Yes, that is our association on that point. The original edition, you know?
Yes, he has been in touch with the man that had the book. He has spoken with him. He was put in prison when he tried to take the book to Iran. They caught him at the border and they put him in prison, and he has spoken with that man. He has two...
Which one in border from that book?
Yes,
Who's understanding?
They knew it was old book.
Huh?
They knew it was old book. And that...
Handwriting?
Yes, handwriting. And the paper was papyrus and pamuk. Papyrus and cotton. And they just took the book because it was a very old book. And you cannot take old books out of Turkey. So they took the book, they put the people in prison, but they did not know what kind of book it was. But photocopies of the first and second page were sent to a professor in Arabic and Aramaic. And Aramaic is one of the 13 dialects of Hebrew, and the language spoken by Hazrat Isa and so on. And then later, in 1986, they only discovered that it was the Gospel of Barnabas, because the book starts, I am Barnabas of Cyprus, and I am a follower of Jesus, and I write this 48 years later. Yeah. And he wrote, there was an article in Turkiye Gazete about this book that was found in Turkey. And in this introduction, Barnabas said that he had written 4. So we think he has written 4 books. And one book was found from the body of Barnabas in Cyprus, but the Vatican took it. And they said it was the Gospel of Matthew, but they have never shown it. And so a second copy has been found in the east of Turkey, in the area of Hakkari. And this was in 1982. The people were arrested in 1984, and it only came into the newspaper in 1986. And then people came from Rome because they wanted to buy the book, but Turkey didn't sell it. So it should be still in Turkey, but they keep it hidden. And this is all I know about it. And they made unofficially a carbon-14 test to see how old the book was, and it was 2,000 years old. But this has never made it in public, except in an article in Turkiye Gazete. I think Jeremy also has it on the Boekershuis section also. I have the newspaper.
That book, 2,000 years old?
They unofficially they made a test, and it said in the newspaper and also the professor where I have spoken with that the book was 2,000 years old.
Where it is now?
Well, it is in Ankara with askari, with the soldiers. They keep it.
Why is that?
Because I think because many people, very high officials from the church, they came to Turkey and they want to buy the book, but the Turks didn't sell it because there are apparently some Muslims in the government, and they say no, we keep the book. But I think because Turkey wants to get close to Europe, that European politicians have asked the Turkish politicians, please keep the book and don't show it to anybody. because they are afraid of the book.
President Nixon came too.
Eh?
He says President Nixon came also.
Shortly
Nixon.
after the book was
Başkanı
found,
Nixon.
ex-Nixon.
Yeah, ex-President Nixon from America.
Hmm?
We don't know why.
He
We don't
also
know
took
why.
interest.
But it was a coincidence that he came after the book was found. Or I mean, after there was a publication in the newspaper that the book that was found and confiscated was the Gospel of Barnabas. But after that, nobody speaks about it anymore.
Gelmiş de çekiyor.
But the book is still in Turkey.
Not taking a copy from it?
No, I have seen a photo first and the second page,
Hmm.
but the people who work with it are told not to speak about it, forbidden to speak about it.
You also forbidden?
Well, not for me, because I know one of the people who work with it, and he has given me the information, and I can do with it what I want because I'm not Turkish, and I just write what I want to write. And in my introduction of the Dutch Gospel of Barnabas, I give them the exact address, which may be dangerous for me, but they cannot do anything to me. Maybe they can say that I have to leave Turkey, but I cannot live in Turkey anymore. They did not tell me, they didn't tell me that I can do nothing with it or I could not speak about it.
Huh. You are free.
I am free, alhamdulillah. So I just write what I think I should write.
Same gospel that we have now.
The same gospel that we have now. The men who translated it said there are little differences, but the essence, the meaning is exactly the same. But of course, the English translation that we have is made from an Italian translation which is in Vienna, in Austria, and so translated from Italian into English, and before it was translated from Aramaic into Italian, if you translate it, it depends on the translator, because one translator will give it such a word, and another translator will give it another word. But the essence is the same.
Same. La
Yeah,
ilaha
in great
illallah
line.
Muhammad Rasulullah.
Yeah, the essence is the same.
This book that in Turkey now,
Mm-hmm.
it is Aramaic language
It's Aramaic language, yes.
and Arabic also?
Only Aramaic,
Aramaic.
yes, Aramaic.
Anyone knowing Aramaic language?
Yes.
Jewish people?
No, I know a professor, he is a professor in Aramaic and
Here,
in
in
Arabic,
Turkey?
yes, in Turkey, in Istanbul. And also, apparently, Aramaic is a language which is still spoken by some Nestorian monks in the east of Turkey as well. You know, the old Christian Nestorian monks. And they speak Arabic and Persian and Osmanli and also Aramaic.
Suriyeliler ne hocam?
Suryani.
Suryani.
They are
They also
Suryani.
speak Suryani, yes, but they're not Suryanis, they're Nestorians. It's a sect,
Nestorian. huh?
yes, it's a sect of Christianity. Yeah. And they know the language as well.
Hmm.
So I worked 4 years on the book now, on the translation. And I made
From that book?
No, I made a translation also like Zephyr from the English translation.
From
From the
English.
English, yes.
Not from Vienna.
Well, the English translation is made from the Vienne manuscript, from Italy in 1907. And you probably know that this book never came on the market. Because when it was printed in the printery, the day it should come on the market, the whole edition disappeared. All the books were gone. They say it's a mystery, but we know that the church bought it and they burned the books.
Hakikati gizlemek için.
It's not a big mystery. But then it was 1907 and now it is 1990. And the church has not so much power anymore as before. And many people in the West, they cannot understand 3 in 1 or 1 in 3. They cannot understand. Because the logic and the reason cannot accept it. You cannot understand 3 in 1 or 1 in 3. It's impossible. There's only 1 or there's 3. But 3 in 1 is not possible. So even scientists now, theologians, they say, well, maybe that Jesus was only a prophet, because nowhere in the Bible he said, I am the Son of God. In the Bible, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam says, I am the Son of Man. And I am the Son of God. So even many people now start to think, was Jesus really the Son of God, or was he a prophet, just a human being like we are? So I think that now, inshallah, it's the right time to publish the book. Many people will be angry. Many people will be, but many people will be very happy because Hazrat Isa becomes a person we can understand. You see, if you speak of the Son of God, what do we have to imagine as the Son of God? What is the Son of God? We cannot imagine the Son of God. But if you read this book, then you discover that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was just a human being who was afraid, who could, and then we can understand the Prophet. We know what the Prophet is. So inshallah, I hope that we will be successful with the book.
Inshallah. Yes, where you are living?
I live in, or we live in Shangalpur.
Shangalpur.
Yes, it's not far away from here, just before Bangladesh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abdul Wadud?
The same, we live in the same house. We
Same.
have a
And
old,
upstairs the same as
No family?
I have a wife and 4 children.
MashaAllah. Abdul Wadud?
I don't know.
No her family?
No family. No. Not yet, inshallah.
And Salman Bey is almost my neighbor. We live very close to each other.
Sí, ahora se الحق يعلو ولا يعلى عليه. Truth must be top. Nothing may be on truth. Truth must be up higher.
But I think the truth will always win,
Yes.
after all.
Yes.
But the scientists, the theologians, they say they can prove in a book that the Gospel of Barnabas was written by an Italian in the 17th century who became a Muslim and who wrote a book, a Bible, which was in accordance with the Quranic hymn. But this is not true because in the Gospel of Barnabas are things, elements, ayats, that we do not know in Islam. So it cannot be that it was an Italian Christian who became a Muslim, because if it was really a convert to Islam, he did not know the things, he could not say things which are not known in Islam. So there are some things in the Gospel of Barnabas which we do not know in Islam. And there is actually one very big contradiction, because in the Gospel of Barnabas, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam said, I am not the Messiah, but according to Quranic hearing, Hazrat Isa is the Messiah. So it cannot be that the book was written as a falsification, as a forgery by a Muslim, because this is in contradiction with Islam. So, but all these arguments of the scientists are not very important. There are 3 different theories about the Gospel of Barnabas, because if a book, an original of 2,000 year old is found, then it cannot be a forgery by an Italian Christian who became a Muslim. You see?
But it is also well known that it found on the chest of St. Barnabas.
Yes, in 523, I think. Yes. But they say this is the Gospel of Matthew and not the Gospel of Barnabas.
Why?
Because they don't want to know the truth of them.
Yes.
They don't want to know
Because
the truth.
Matthew just lived after Barnabas.
Yes, about
How
50
it
years
can
later.
be?
50 years later.
Yes,
Yeah.
how it can be Gospel of Matthew with Barnabas?
I know.
That is a foolishness.
Definitely.
They think they're intelligent and can hide the truth, but you cannot hide the truth. The truth will always come up. So,
He is not believing in such a small one. How they can say this?
yeah.
Gospel of Matthew, and Matthew never in the time of Barnabas.
Yeah.
It is that ignorance with those people.
And it was power, because then Christianity became power in 325, because they were protected by Constantine. For the first time in history, Christianity became a political power, because they had the help of Constantine. If you said God is one, they cut your head. If you say God is three, they say, mashallah, good God. Astaghfirullah. But then it became a power, Effendi. It was a power, and they wanted power, and it became something very powerful. Christianity, astaghfirullah, became big business.
A business.
It became big business, because the Vatican 20 years ago was the greatest financial power in the world. So what do we speak about religion?
Therefore, German protesting him. Yes.
But inshallah, I really hope that this book will do a lot of good, that people will understand that
Inshallah.
Allah Ta'ala in His mercy has given us everything to eat and to drink and clothes to protect us from the cold and the heat. But on top of that, for our spiritual health, He has given us prophets. So many prophets who came to help us, to guide us back to our Creator. And it's all very simple, but things became so obscure, because if they start to change the teaching, you cannot find the way anymore. So inshallah, with this book, people will understand the truth. Because we're all children of God. So there is not only one son of God, there are millions of sons of God and daughters of God. We're all children of one God.
That protesting Pope, Kamaluddin.
But even the Bible became a beautiful book if you read it with the eyes of a Muslim. Because when I became a Muslim and I read the Bible, there are beautiful things in it, but there are also many things in that you can understand they are changed.
Yeah.
And like I grew up a Roman Catholic, I know a little bit about the Bible, and when I made the translation of the Gospel of Barnabas, I often remember parts of the Bible, and I bought one Bible and I checked it. And many parts of the Gospel of Barnabas and the Bible are identically the same, but with a very small difference in writing. For instance, when a person is sick and they ask Hazrat Isa alayhi salam to cure him, in the Bible, Jesus would say to the person, be healthy, and the man is healthy. But in the Gospel of Barnabas, with exactly the same story, the man asked him, please cure me. Then he would start to pray, he would say, Ya Rab, out of love for your prophets, cure this sick man. And then he would say to the man, be healthy, and the man was healthy. Now it seems to be a small difference, but in the Bible, it's Hazrat Isa alayhi salam who is curing the sick person, but in the Gospel of Barnabas, he is asking, he is making dua to Allah Ta'ala to give him the power to cure the sick person. You see, it's a tremendous difference, but it's the same story.
You have come.
Yes,
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
I don't know what is the time.
Saat 10
Oldu mu?
10 geçiyor.
10 geçiyor.
Daha namaza ne kadar var?
20 dakika değil.
Zaten onu bekliyorlar ya.
Briefing verecek.
Size
Size, bana değil.
sizden sohbet istiyorum.
Hı? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheikh.
Estağfurullah.
What is it?
Sheikh Hussein.
Huh?
Estağfurullah. Hollandalı Hüseyin.
Hüseyin?
Hollandalı Hüseyin.
Huh?
Hollandalı Hüseyin. They call me
Hollandalı
Hollandalı
Hüseyin.
Hüseyin because
Hollanda. Hüseyin sağ tamamdır işimiz. Avusturyan Hüseyin değil bu.
Kaçtı sabahleyin. Sabahleyin. Sabahleyin kaçtı bizim evden. Nereye gitti belli değil o geceden sonra.
Hı?
Sabahleyin kayboldu gitti.
Kayboldu.
Anladı bizim fazla şey. O gün babamla tanıştılar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now, anytime.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم